Annectens, connecting professionals.
Just to cover up, we did talk about all the aspects about PKCS and all. So we'll not run through. Already I have updated the like video will be updated shortly on the Annectens website. So you will have a look. So just to give you a heads up what we did, okay, to set up this wait a second. Set up this first what we did install Intune connector. Okay, I'll do one thing. Okay, so what we did first, we installed Intune connector. Okay, and we did set up a certification authority. Okay, these two, these part is on intranet. Okay, and this side it is on intranet. Okay, so internet where we have mobiles which are not connected on the domain. Okay, and this is where your Intune services which are already available on internet. So we did set up a connector in between both the terminology, both the world, intranet and internet. Okay, so having said that, after installing this, we did configure Intune connector shortly with service account and other you know, I'll show you with other configurations, and then we did set up. So I'll just give you the flow. So first device, connects with Intune, okay, and seeks for the certificate. Okay, then once the certificate is not available, device redirects. Okay, re-ask the same, that I don't have any information about the certificate. Okay, how do I proceed further? Then Intune service talks to Intune connector, seeking that this device is asking for a certificate. Okay, and can you give me the certificate for this particular device? Okay, then Intune connector talks to certification authority, stating that this is the certificate format and we are requesting a certificate for a newly device which has joined on the domain or which is recently kicked in. Okay, on the internet side. So then certification authority do check and verifies all the certificate terms, and then it validates that yes, this is the certificate which can be issued, for this device. Okay, and then Intune connector, what it does, it passes through that information to Intune. Wait a second. And from here, once the Intune connector sends that information, the certificate information to Intune, the same information is passed by Intune service to that device, and then that device gets enrolled, and we see that the certificate has been installed successfully. Okay, so these are the information which are there on the device side, which it is being requesting for that certificate. So first it checks for the username, then what is the name of the CA server. Okay, this one. Then what is the friendly name of the CA server, what is the name of the template, what is the expiration date of the template, and what is the validity of the template. Okay, so these information is already embedded in the cert, and once the device requests for this certificate service, these information are being checked by Intune service, then it passes through Intune connector passes to certification authority, and then having all these information pertaining to this device, all these informations are met, then this certification authority sends the certificate to Intune connector passes to Intune, and then it comes here. Okay, so with this PKCS, what we require, we need to have a FQDN of the server, okay, where the certification authority is present. Okay, and then we require a certificate template name. Okay, then what is the CA friendly name, all these attributes, what is the subject name, subject alternative name. So we'll quickly cover the demo and we will have a look on this. Okay, so what I did in the demo part, I'll just So what I did in the demo part, I will just cover it up. First, I installed a Intune certificate connector. Okay, so let's do it step by step. So we will have all these information. So I have my uh, hypervisor is still running. I did not restart it. So this is the Intune connector where I have installed the connector services. Okay, let me launch it. Is it visible? So how did I install the connector? First, I will go to the Intune. Okay, go to Intune, go to home page. Okay, this is the home page you will get. Okay, then from here, go to your tenant administration. From tenant administration, you will see the connector and tokens. Okay, from connector and tokens, you just go to certificate connector. Okay, so this is already pre-configured. When you click on add, okay, you will get a certificate connector .exe. This is a setup file. When you click on it, it will automatically download. So what I did, I downloaded and I copy it to the server. Okay, so I'll quickly go to the server, and this is the file which I copied from there. Okay, and I double clicked and run it. So how does the UI look like? I'll show you. Though it's already installed, if I double install it, it will remove the pre installation. Okay, so this is how it came when I double click on it. This is how it looked like. Okay, then first, this is a welcome page. We don't need to change anything. Then click on next. So we are not doing escape right now. We did only PKCS. So PKCS and PKCS imported certificate and certificate revocation. So these three things, I mean, it was pre-checked, so I didn't change anything. And then I clicked on next. Okay, this is where you need to leave this as a system account. Okay, don't change anything. Though this setup is something done by your certification authority admin. Okay, we are not, as an Intune admin, we are not required to make these changes from our side. But since we are doing it live and we require it end-to-end knowledge about it, so this is what we are doing manually with our own. Then we clicked on next. So though in SCEP we require a proxy and NDES, but in PKCS we do not require any sort of proxy. Okay, so we are leaving it as it is default. Okay, then prereqs will be auto computed and checked. Then when you click on next, okay, this is where it asks you to provide your login credential, your tenant login credential. Okay, so though it's already pre-configured, so we will not get that option. But if you click here, okay, this is where you'll get option to sign in with your credential. When you click on it, it will populate a prompt where you require to give your tenant administration login credential. Okay, so after I have given the login credential of my tenant, it has bind that certificate connector with my Intune, and that is why we can see that this connector is showing here and showing active. Okay, so that was the first step. First step was to let me check if my okay, so this was the first thing. Okay, all right. So this was the first thing which I did. Okay, so Intune connector is successfully installed. What is the next requirement is to configure the connector accounts, which I already mentioned. To communicate with Intune, I did set up my tenant login credential. All right, so these two steps is done. Now we need to go to the certification authority, and we look for the certificate template, and we need to duplicate it for that. Okay, so let's now go to hypervisor. So that was CM1 where I had only set up my connector. Okay, this is nothing to do with certification authority. Certification authority is set up on a different server. Okay, this is where my domain controller, where my active directory and other services are currently running. Okay. One more thing is, uh, if you see sometimes if you face that your connector service is not showing active, okay, so in that, what we can do, we can go to this. Okay, since it's already configured, I'm just closing it. So you can go to services, okay, and so it happens, I mean, occasionally it happens, it's not that periodically that you will get such issues, but yes, if in case you encounter some problem with the services, so go to the services and look for PFX. Okay, so these services should automatically run. Okay, if it's not running, maybe it's on manual or default or disabled, maybe something, some for some reason, so you just need to start it. Okay, or you can go to properties and you can change this to automatic. Okay, and then leave it, and then click on start and run. Okay, so these services are essential, okay, for your connector to communicate with the certification authority and your Intune. So now this CM1 task is over, I don't need to do anything. Let's come to the DC, where I have my certification authority. Okay, okay, so let me close all these. Okay, so this is where the certification authority installed. So what does the point says? It says duplicate certificate template from CA. Okay, copy the existing template from the certification authority. Modify is based on your organization needs. So how we can do it? So first go to run. Okay, type the command cert srv.msc. Okay, this will launch your certificate services. Otherwise, I'll give you the other way also doing it. So first let it launch. Okay, this is the way that you can straight away interact with your certification authority. Okay, if it's not, then you can go to MMC. I think it's very common, everyone has used it. From MMC you can go to file, add snap-in. Okay, and you can go to authority, do like this, leave it local computer. Okay, and keep it like this. So this is also gonna open the same thing. Okay, this is gonna open the same thing. Only the difference is that is the quickest way of using opening it is simply, run the command and get this accessed. Okay, so now from here you get in certificate templates. So let me give you this. This is when you click on this certification authority, this will give you the name of the certificate. Okay, this is a friendly name. Okay, this is not FQDN, this is a friendly name which says this is a certification authority. All right, and when we are looking for FQDN and all, I'll show you how to get this. So first go to certificate templates. Okay, this is where you will get all sort of templates uh, which are available currently, okay, with this computer on this DC. All right, so what you need to do, you need to simply, but beforehand it will not give you option to make any duplicate certificate from here. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to right click on this and choose manage. Okay, so when you do a manage, you will get all sort of certificates which are available with this server certification authority. Okay, so go to user. Okay, right click on it and choose a duplicate. Okay, so duplicate here, I'll show you. So here you will see the minimum certification authority criteria. Okay, so minimum server requirement is Windows Server 2003, will not change it. And certificate recipient is minimum requirement, at least it should be Windows XP or Server 2003. Okay, so though we are running more than that, so we do not require any sort of thing. So this is the first compatibility mode, which we don't need to make any changes. Then go to general. This is where you need to give the name of the certificate. Okay, for example, I want to do a name as PKCS, PKCS demo lab, maybe demo, like that. Okay, and just not making any changes. And this is where you will uncheck the publish certificate in Active Directory, okay, and give the name. And this is the template name. This is the display name. This display name will appear on the machine when you look for the certificate on that machine, okay. Then go to request handling. Okay, we're not making any changes. Only we are taking this option, which is default, allow private key to be exported. Okay, but with PKCS, this option is there. Okay, where you can export the private key, but with SCEP this option is not there, because with SCEP private key travels with the device. It is there with the device, because there private key is embedded with the device, which cannot be exported, okay. And with the revocation option, for example, with PKCS, if I need to remove any certificate, okay, it is not option to possibly do it for one device or two device, okay, especially for a device the option is not available. But with SCEP that option is available. I mean, you can revoke a single certificate from a device. I mean, one device, if you want just to revoke the certificate from a device, you can easily do it in SCEP, but not in possible in PKCS. Okay, so this option is default. We're not making any changes. And then cryptography, the default minimum size is 2048. Maybe if you as per your organization requirement, maybe if you want to change it to 40 something like that, you can make it, but the minimum size is something 2048, which I think we need to keep it as it is. Okay, then key attestation, we're not making any changes here. Then security, so here in security we need to add that server where we have installed the connector. Okay, so in our case we have installed the connector on the server which named is CM1. Okay, so CM1, you just give the name and choose OK. Select this server and give a permission of enroll and auto enroll. So two option is there. Either you can also do this from advanced, okay, and you can do the either what you can do, you can click here, okay, then choose edit, and you can give the option to enroll and auto enroll. Okay, so then you can do okay, fine, and then okay. So this server will be added and it will be given enroll, read, and auto enroll option. Okay, so this is under the security, right? Then go to extensions. So here you go select the application policy and verify that yes, client authentication is there. Okay, and this user certificate will be also work for the secure email and encryption in the file system. Okay, so we are currently looking for client authentication, nothing more than that. And key usage, where you will need to leave it default and uncheck this option if it's checked. This is something when we're doing a iOS deployment, we does not require this option to check. Okay, so this is happened. Now superseded template, we are not making any changes. Superseded template is something like you created, you made a template, okay, later on you did change something, okay, and you required that new template to be superseded or to be overwrited, you know, for the previous certificate which we installed, which has been older now. So then we can simply add the new certificate. So we're not doing anything here. Then subject name, here the option called supply in the request, you'll get a pop-up here. Okay, just ignore that and choose this supply in the request. Okay, that is the mandatory option. And then server, we're not changing anything. Issuance certificate requirements, we're not changing anything. So this way, when you click on apply and OK, you will get a certificate which will look something like this lab demo PKCS. Okay, so we'll quickly run through the properties again for this one. Okay, this is the name I have given. Okay, in compatibility, I have left the default. Request handling, allow private key to be exported is checked. Cryptography is the default option is given. Key attestation, nothing changed. Server, nothing changed. And security, I have given CM1 as a full permission. I mean, full permission since I've given the read, enroll, and auto enroll. And in advanced, I have also given option, to enroll, auto enroll here. Okay, so the enroll and auto enroll option is given, and read option is also given. So these three permissions are given for this server, which is where I have my Intune connector installed. Then extension, verified, yes, client authentication is there. Key usage, ensure this is not checked, and this is the default settings. Superseded template, nothing I have to mention as superseded. Subject name, I have changed this to supply in the request. Issuance requirement, I have kept it as default. Okay, so this is my certificate, which to be used for the deployment of client authentication and secure email and encryption of file system. Okay, so what you need to do first, like this template is showing up here. Okay, now you close this, right click on it, choose new, and certificate template to use. Okay, so if your template is not showing here, it means it has been published. If it is showing as still here, it means it has not published. So first we need to check here whether your template is showing up or not. Okay, so first instance it will not show up because it's not published, it just created. So to publish it, we can click on right click, new, certificate template to issue, and then choose the template which one you want to publish. Okay, so I did, for example, I choose lav demo PKCS, which was here, for example, and I just clicked on OK. So it has appeared here in the list. Okay, so two things which we completed. First we did install, so let's go to, yeah, here. So first we did install the connector, then we configured the connector account, we given our tenant credential to communicate with Intune, then we duplicated certificate template from CA. Okay, we modified it according to the organization need. We have given a template permission. Okay, and we have given a permission for read, enroll, and auto enroll. Okay, then we have published the template, and then we have finalized and published. Okay, so this task is completed from the connector side. Okay, now let's go next. Certificate template handling, I already informed what we need to do. So we need to have the allow private key to be exported, this checked. Supply in the request, okay, this should be selected. Permission wise, the connector account permission is given with enroll permission. iOS devices, we have unchecked that option. Okay, extension, where we have ensured that yes, client authentication attribute is selected and that will be used. Private key will be exported here in PKCS option, and template option we have chosen user template. Okay, so this is okay. Any confusion? Are we good? So I proceed further. Good. All right. So now next. So next, let me show you on the server side directly. So sorry, not C. This is DC. Okay, so now once we have this certificate published, we need to export the root certificate. Okay, so for root certificate, how we can export? So this is my certification authority. I need to right click on it, choose a properties. This is where you can see the root certificate. Okay, so this certificate is issued and to and by both. So this is issued by to this certification authority. Okay, so this is the root certificate, and what we need to do, let me explain it again. Right click, properties, view certificate, confirm everything is fine, then go to details, copy to file, click on next. Okay, choose this encoder, next, and you need to save it. Okay, so I did save it on my documents. Okay, this is the root cert, so you need to just give a name of the certificate and click on save. Okay, so once it's saved and click on next, so you will have your certificate there. So I already have it on my document. This is the root certificate. So what I need to do, I just copied this, right click on it, copy, and I came to my base machine. Okay, this is my base machine, and this is where I have already kept it. Okay, if you can see this, this is where I have kept it, root certificate. Okay, now I first what I did, I went to devices. From devices, what we need to do, we need to go to the configuration. Okay, and I'll just, let's wait for some time. So I already have something here, so let me show you from the scratch. First, what you need to do, click on new and choose this, for example, Windows 10 and later. Okay, and choose a template. Okay, and look for the trusted root certificate. Okay, choose this. Next, for example, let's give it name root cert and click on next. And this is where it says computer certificate store. So I just did it on document, and let me, sorry, it was on my desktop, right? Not on this. Okay, so this is the root cert. I just clicked on it and I export it here. Okay, then next I did assignment. So you need to create a group for these demo or for these purposes. So PKCS, we already set up a separate group and we did select. Okay, and then click on next. Okay, this is where it asks you for the rules and properties, whether you want to apply it for certain operating systems only. So I did not set anything for this. Okay, I simply kept this default and then clicked review and create. So I already have created, I'll just show you. So this is the root certificate for Windows. Okay, so this is where I have given the configuration. This is where I have simply uploaded the certificate, and that's it. So first what we need to do, we need to create a root certificate. Okay, so this is the one root certificate, and one root certificate I have created for Android. Okay, so simple. I did click on next, and then here I have just uploaded the root certificate. So this two configuration profile is created successfully. Okay, uh, if you guys can see this, these two are the trusted certificate. All right, so first we need to set up the Intune connector, then we need to manage and duplicate certificate, then we give the permissions to that certificate, make the necessary changes for the Intune connector account server. Okay, once those part is done, then we need to create a certificate, trusted certificate. Okay, and then that we need to deploy to that machine. Okay, wherever you want, either you want to Android machine or 8.1, maybe on Windows. So why this is needed? This is needed for the chain building. This is needed to let you identify, like for me, I am a device. Okay, you are directly coming to me saying that I am your friend. Okay, or I work in your organization. So how do I know, how do I trust that you are the right person, or you are belonging to from the same organization? So you need to have a valid ID, okay, which is issued by your organization. Okay, that you can show that, see, this is my ID card and this is my employee ID, and this is the organization card which is issued to me, and I am, I'm the right person, for example. So then I can identify, okay, yes, he's the right person, and he belongs to the organization, I can trust him. Okay, so this is where we require these two certificates to establish a trust between the device and the certification authority. Okay, so once this device certificate, trusted certificate is done, we need to create a PKCS certificate. Okay, so here I'll show you first how to do this. So this is where you need to choose PKCS certificate. Okay, and you can click on icon. It says that set up the public key pair certificate to enable certificate based authentication. Okay, so this is where you can simply click and for example, uh, PKCS Windows. I've already created it. I'm just giving you the demo. So click on next. Okay, so these information are crucial and we need to identify what best and how to get the right information, like for key storage, KSP, certification authority, and all those information. Where do you will get it? So for this threshold is the default threshold. We're not making any change. Okay, this is where it says like we can have it between 1 to 99%, which says that this certificate is remaining of your lifetime. For example, this is issued in uh, span of 6 months. Okay, so as soon it is nearing to last 1 month, okay, or maybe 2 months, it will give you the threshold that this certificate is about to expire. Okay, we require a renewal. So it will automatically request for a renewal of a certificate, and the recommendation is something that 20%, not less than that. Okay, so first we will go to the domain controller. Okay, and we will simply run a command, okay, to identify, uh, if I can zoom in. Okay, so I will cert util and then dump. Okay, so this command actually tells you what is your certification authority name. Okay, and then what is the FQDN name. Okay, and what is the certification authority name. So in our case, it requires 20% setup. Okay, fine, and I have kept it for 6 months because I simply want this to not 1 year, just for 6 months. Key provider, key storage provider. So we have options here. Okay, for example, first option says enroll to TPM. Okay, and if KSP is present, then enroll it to TPM, otherwise keep it to software KSP. So it says that if the TPM is not there, which is trusted platform module, which is there for Windows 11, especially to ensure that yes, your machine is being compliant, and if TPM is missed, your Windows 11 will prompt you a warning. It will not get installed. Okay, so TPM is something which is mandatory. So for the certificate purposes, for the security mechanism, it has allowed this option. If TPM is there, it is fine. If not there, then it will seek for a software's KSP and it will be installed there. Second thing is saying that enroll to trusted platform module KSP, otherwise fail. So if we are choosing this option, which means we are only sticking to TPM KSP. If TPM is not available, then it will not deploy the certificate for that machine. Okay, and the next is says that enroll for Windows Hello for Business. Okay, and if your machine have Windows Hello for Business, or maybe it's mandatory for your organizations to keep it, and if that is there on every machine, then certainly you can use this option. And if Windows, it finds that Windows Hello for Business is not enabled, it is not enrolled, then it will fail, the certificate will not be installed. And the last option is says enroll to software KSP. Okay, so for security mechanism, we are keeping this option. Okay, ensuring that yes, if the TPM is not there, is still it will seek for the software KSP and it will install that certificate in that format. So let's choose this certification authority. Okay, so this says we need to have a this says that we need to have a fully qualified domain name of the server that hosts the certification authority role. Okay, and if this certification authority role is not, I mean, this fully qualified no domain name is not there, then it will create a conflict. Okay, and it will create a confusion. All right, so how do I get the certification authority fully qualified name? uh, What is happening? So if I go and you check this command, so this is the fully qualified name. Okay, this is the fully qualified name of the server which where the certification authority is hosted. All right, so this is what we need to copy. So I just selected and press the enter, and I'll simply paste this. Okay, as it has mentioned that we need to have a fully qualified domain name. Okay, so don't get confused on this part. This is fully qualified domain name which we have captured from that certutil/dump command. Okay, so this is what we got, certification authority. Then it's asked for the certification authority name. So how we'll get it? Again, domain server, and this is the certification authority name. Okay, I'll just select, press enter to copy and paste it. Okay, remove the double quote. This is not mandatory. This is not actually part of the name. All right, so these two information are captured. Then we look for the certification template. So again, go to the DC. What was the name of the certificate? This was the name, lab demo PKCS. You simply double click on it and just select copy, right click, copy, and go to the configuration profile and paste it. Okay, then certificate type is user. Okay, and subject name format is this the default one. So just select, right click, and copy. Okay, then it says attribute, user principal name, paste it here. Okay, so keeping the same. Then extended key usage. This says that in the most cases when the certificate is requiring any, if the client authentication is not there, so it will certificate will require at least client authentication. Okay, if the client authentication is not there, the certificate won't be installed. Okay, so the authentication mechanism will not happen to the server for that device or the user. So I believe I mean we have already checked this, that client authentication is already present. All right, so we just need to select pre-configured and choose the client authentication. That's it. Okay, so this is the settings for your PKCS certificate. Then you click on next, choose the group, for example PKCS, and choose this, select. Okay, and applicability rule, we need to, as we mentioned, we just uh, make it like OS edition and all, and we can make it according to the organization need. If we require, we can set it up, otherwise we don't need it. And then click on next and apply. So first what we did, let's go by step by step. In Intune, first we created root certificate. All right, with the root certificate, we have deployed these root certificate to PKCS group. Okay, so once these PKCS root certificate is successfully installed, then we need to create a PKCS configuration profile, and then we need to deploy that. Okay, so PKCS I have created for uh, Android, Windows, and iOS. So let's check for Windows. How does this look like? So if I go to configuration settings, so this is where I have given the threshold for 20, months is 6, and KSP is selected. This is my certification authority. This is my friendly name of the certification authority. Then this is the certificate name. User type, certificate type is user. Subject name format is the default which is there, and user principal name attribute will be used while authenticating. The default the default value is given. So this value is, I mean, if you want, we can have this value. If I go to this, so we have so many attributes available, if you guys can see this. So first is this your CN user name. Okay, then user principal name. Then if you want, you can have the serial number, user serial number as well. Okay, then you can have this on-premise SAM account name. Maybe so many attributes are available that you can utilize here, for the device certificate based. So I am just using it for my simpler lab purposes, and I'm not making much cumbersome, not to get this understandable. So this is simply which I have given a username, so it will identify the name of the user. For example, this is Jane Doe, and user principal name, this is where it will identify what is the email address of that person. So these two things will be captured, and we can see this in the certificate. I'll show you where. Okay. So this is what the configuration which I have created for this Windows certificate, and just clicked on review, and so this is already created. I did not change anything. And for Android, I'll just show you Android, simply the same configuration, nothing changed. Okay. Simple as this. And this is where I have given the root certificate. I think I have already told you, like when you're doing a PKCS, you need to, or let me show you this 1 second. So when you create Android, I think I've given shown you for Windows. This is where you go Android Enterprise template, and you need to choose the PKCS certificate. Next, PKCS Android, copy paste. Next. So we need to fill these information. Then it says root certificate. So root certificate, since I have already tagged this with my previous profile, another profile, so it is not showing up. It can be only tagged once with a one PKCS profile. We cannot use it multiple times with a multiple configuration item. So the same thing I have done, and these configurations are remaining same for Android, iOS, and Windows. It's just a matter of fact that for Android, we need to have this root certificate associated with the PKCS profile. Okay, otherwise it won't work. Android won't recognize that configuration profile until that root certificate is given. And with Windows, so I figured it out lately. Like first, we need to have the root certificate deployed to the machines, because it wasn't working simultaneously for me on Android and Windows. So what I did, I removed all the configuration settings. I recreated everything, and then I did it on step by step. Then it worked. So root certificate for Windows. If I go and show the uh, root certificate here for Windows. So this is where it succeeded on my client one. So client one machine is this. Uh, this is the client one machine. Okay. So one thing I did, notice, uh, earlier this machine was on, I don't know what is the problem with that. I seriously don't understand this, but this machine was earlier a domain join machine. Okay. And I don't know, the publication of the certificates were not happening. So what I did remove that account domain, this machine from the domain, and I did install, reconnect this with my tenant. Okay. And then I pushed that trusted certificate, and that installed. So if I show you, and then having this machine turned on with my tenant login credential, I did a sync couple of times. So having said that, sync happens, maybe, I don't know, the machine wasn't in the sync, and it was out of sync for some time, so it wasn't working. So I did go to the device. If I go to all device, and I clicked on this, and I just clicked on sync. Okay, one thing I did notice as well, I just wanted to share with you. Maybe you might, encounter this issue. So this machine on Windows, especially, I did not create any compliance though. Okay, so what I did, I checked that this machine was showing as non-compliant. So because there was no default compliance settings was set up. So what I did here, I did go to compliance, Okay. Okay, I'll show you from the beginning. Okay, don't get confused. Go to home, go to devices, okay, and go to here compliance. All right. So here Windows compliance wasn't there. So I just created this Windows compliance by doing this. Okay. And I did check this create Windows compliance. Okay. So this is where I mean, I did not configure anything. I just, what I did, simple way of, I mean, I just kept it very simpler. I just went to and I just figured it out. Okay, this is the version 2600 1742. Okay, so what I did, I did not change anything in the device health, device properties. I just only mentioned this 10.0.26100 something like that, 1742 something, 1742, yeah, 2600 and 1742. So this is only the default minimum version I have kept. Okay, and I have changed nothing with my other compliance settings. Okay, so I do not require any password or anything. I do not require TPM through check and all, firewall, nothing. I have did nothing, especially on this machine. Just to evaluate the compliance, I have run this minimum OS version. Okay, and I just created and clicked on next and just completed this. So this device compliance I have already created here. If I show you, if I go to properties, and this is where you guys can see that only default minimum or operating version is checked, nothing is that. And for the non-compliance, I just did a tweak. It was giving me, if I do 0, it will it will immediately mark this device as non-compliant. Okay, so just to avoid this, because we are in the uh, demo state, but if in your organization it might be 30 days or maybe 90 days, in 90 days the device will marked as non-compliant. Okay, so I have kept it 100, nothing I've changed. And later on I just assigned this to a group which is PKCS demo. Okay, so after evaluation, once it's evaluated, then it says my client one machine was showing compliant. I mean, this is, I don't know. I mean, this was my thought. Maybe because of machine is not non-compliant, it is not evaluating, and that is why the certificate is not working. Maybe that was a thought. I don't know how true is it, but this is something which I felt, and I technically thought of in a sense of organization, because in organization, if the devices are non-compliant, it is a major risk. Okay, a security breach. So in that sense, we do need to do an extra bit of action to make those devices as compliant, and then all the necessary resources which that device are supposed to get should have it. Okay, so having said, or having that thought in my mind, I did set up this compliance and I did set this for my device. So later on, this this go to configuration, devices and configuration. So the evaluation started happening. Okay, so first root certificate, uh, of Windows that has been successfully deployed after the compliance was checked. Okay, so presumably that was an issue earlier, maybe. So once this got success, then I did wait for this for Android, and with Android, I checked this for Android, and I saw that the root certificate is successfully ran. I don't know, yesterday it was showing me that is success, now it's not. So this is something that uh, that also worked later on. Maybe some issues today, I'm not sure that's why it's not showing up. So And then we saw that PKCS deployment happened for Android. Okay, this was the Android device, and see the PKCS deployment is happened for both the device. One is with the Lakshmi, which he did set up with the lab account, and one with me, which is with my trainer account. So I think I have closed it, maybe with Android Studio. So this is where these two certificates successfully installed. Okay, and on the client machine, just to show you, sometimes what happens with for the troubleshooting purposes, I'm just telling you. First, let me tell you, show you that this machine is out of the domain. I just removed this. So computer name change. So this was earlier in domain. I just removed this from domain to work group, and then I set this for my tenant. Okay, so this is where you go to access work and school. This is what you see. This is connected with my uh, tenant account. Okay, and if I go to info, this is where we need to sync it. So this was last sync just 1 second before. 12:57 is happening. 12:56 it was successfully, sync happened. So sometimes you might see that sync is not happening, and because of that the certificate is not installed. Okay, so it's just not certificate, it may be other policies also which is not being deployed on this machine, or maybe any machines if the sync is not properly happening. Okay, so first did the sync, and then uh, let's go to this. So how did I open this? So let me show you. I'll just keep the simpler way which we used to get it. Do it like this. MMC, snap in. Okay, and then go to certificate, choose a computer account, select finish. Okay, and this is the certificate, okay, which is installed on this device. All right, and to validate this, I went to this event viewer. Okay, and in event viewer, if I show you, you first go to, let me minimize all things. So first, event viewer will look like something this. Okay, then expand the application and service logs. All right, then go to Microsoft, then go to Windows. Okay, this is where you will have this uh second. That was the 1 second. Yes, device management enterprise diagnostic provider. You need to just expand this, and this is where you will get to see that in admin that this certificate is installed or not, and operational also you will get to see. So I think I did it on. Uh, I just need to verify when did I do this. This was. Wait, let me search it. Okay, and I'll have a look. PFX. Okay, let me go to admin and let me search for PFX. Okay, so if you can see that this PFX cert is successfully installed. Okay, the status operations showing successfully installed. So on this machine, just to validate through the event viewer, I got to see that yes, PFX was successfully installed, and this was done on 14th. Okay, 14th around 12:30 I have set up all these configuration profile, and then I did a device sync, and then I waited for some time, and I got to see that yes, operation is successful and the thumbprint of the certificate is installed, and the same I can validate it with my uh, with my this PKCS cert. This is where I can see that this assignment is successfully ran and it's working. So first, what we need to do, uh, we need to we need to check for the template configuration, okay, and then we look for the pfx logs at the connector to confirm that yes, certificate is installed. And so all these information, company portal log and all, we are not required to do all these things because it is very simple. We can easily see that in Intune, and we can also validate this in Windows event viewer. For Android, so Android yesterday, I think we saw Lakshmi has given me a snap for and his Android machine, and it was validated that certificate was installed in the user credentials. Okay, this is where we see that certificate is installed. So two things for Android: you go to encryption and security, and then go to user credentials, where you can see that newly issued certificate will be installed. It will be shown up there. And if you're looking for iOS, so you go to device management and then management profile, and there you will see all the, in management profile, if you go to certificates, you'll get to see all those available certificates which is recently installed. So uh, yesterday Android wasn't working for me. I think some new patches has installed or some configuration missing here, but let's see if I can spin it up here, and I can show you. Okay. Okay. I think yes. So if I go to settings, okay, and let me look for the security and privacy. Or let me quickly search it. Wait a second. It's very slow right now. I don't know what happened. Encryption. Wait. Encrypt. Yeah, encryption and credentials. Okay, is more settings. Okay. Okay. So it seems not installed, but it is there. 1 second. Did I change the location? Maybe. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I can't hear any voice from anyone. So
Hello.
are we on the same page? Yeah, I can hear now. Okay, great. Are we on the same page? Can tell me what did we do next after setting up the CA and certificates? What we did in Intune? Okay, in Intune, we did set up the Windows compliance to evaluate. Okay, then uh, created device device configuration. Okay, and did setup root cert for Windows, Android. Okay, then did deploy this trusted deploy this trusted root cert to Windows and Android. Okay, though we did not set this for iOS because we did not have the configuration, or we did not have the environment set up for that, so we're not tweaking that. And then next we did uh, create a PKCS cert configuration profile. Okay, we did set up this and then did deploy this PKCS cert profile to Windows and Android. Then 13 did sync Windows devices. Okay, and there was a caveat. I did enroll, did what I say, uh, did remove and re-added to cloud entra domain. Okay, so I did not keep it on Contoso. I removed it from Contoso and kept it on my entra ID, and I joined that device. Right. Next, deployment happened. Okay, verified that the certs are successfully deployed. Okay, so first we require trusted root certificate. Until that it won't work, because if the chain building will not happen, trusted device will not trust on the certificate, right? So having said that, once we had trusted root installed on that device, it identified that yes, this is the certification authority, this is the certificate which I'm sticking to, and this is what the validity period, and this is the subject name. And then when the final PKCS certificate got installed with the configuration profile, it identified, though we have given all the options like what is the friendly name of the certification authority, what is the FQDN name where the certification authority is hosted, and all those information pertaining to the root certificate. So all these information were given. That's why the device got it simply, checked in, identified that this is the cert which I'm looking for, and then it got installed. So that was the whole process, and that is how we got the we got the PKCS profile installed. Okay, now the question is why we do not require any why we do not require any extra configuration for PKCS? Or do we require anything additional out of it, which we seem, or which we think that PKCS should work more efficiently in that case? Are we on the same page? So PKCS, if you can see my screen, okay, it checks some common names, okay, which can be set as a variable in your certificates. So for example, username, user principal name, Azure Active Directory device ID, serial number, IMI number, and all these on-prem distinguished name. So all these information we can use it, but PKCS is not that the external metadata is not that you can enforce a certain layer on of the security. Okay, but yes, considering SCAP and this, yes, we have more custom attributes to set. I hope that is answering your question.
Yes,
Right?
yes, Vaibhav. Yeah, Vaibhav.
Okay.
Actually, can we
Yeah.
have a time? So I'm not sure how many of our team have set up the lab and everything else for the Intune.
Mm-hmm.
But if we
Hmm.
can have the session once we create, I think uh, I will do all the ones which we have already completed the
Yeah,
trainings until now.
I'm available on weekdays. Let me know
Okay, I'll
whenever
ping
you
you.
guys are available. I'll do a poll in the group as well. So whenever your convenient time, we can connect. Okay. Since you are in United Kingdom, you are in other country. So for IST, I'm available 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Accordingly, we can connect and we can do setup. And if VAMC for you also. If that does not fix the problem, we can connect and we can get this done. Okay.
Because today's class, this certificates, while
Mm-hmm.
seeing it is easy, basically,
Mm-hmm.
but when we
Mm.
practically do it, it will be definitely a little bit challenging and
No, no,
confusing.
it's not
So I
challenged.
wanted to,
Actually,
okay,
it is not challenge. It's just fear of not doing it. Okay. Once
okay,
you will do it
okay,
in your environment, you'll start, preparing your servers, everything. It will be very easy. Okay. That's why I've suggested that lab kit, because that is more easier, because you don't need to set up anything. Don't need to do a configuration of DNS and other stuff. It is very straightforward, I would say. So let's
okay,
connect. We'll have this done, because shortly I'm going to cover co-management, which I want you guys to have your own uh, environment at least. So these certificates, these PKIs are very important. If you know PKI, if you know public key interface, your value will be added more on top of it. Okay. Intune, see, market is there. Intune is now, it's very viable. It's very like, everyone is chasing for Intune now, and in device management, Intune is on the top priority. But still, SCCM, PKI, these are the core areas where you can have your depth knowledge, and you have a concrete base out of it. So that's why I'm emphasizing more on these certificate based authentication, certificate based queries, and all those stuff, because no one will teach you these very tiny and very in-depth deep dive knowledge about these things. So everyone can create a configuration profile, everyone can create a compliance, they can do all this stuff, they can do retire and all these. This is very basic, but we're not sticking up to basic, we are sticking more on to the expertise level. Okay, expertise level. So for that, I want you to do a hands on yourself. Anything if asked, I mean, though the forum is open for the lifetime, I don't say that I won't be telling you, but if you do it parallelly, you will be learning gradually, and you will keep getting new issues, errors, and you will keep scratching your brain, identifying where is the problem, what is the cause, and then we can do the discussion parallelly with the subject. So it will be more easy, because if I tell you NDES, and then if I tell you co-management, and then you coming with PKCS certificate, so everyone will not be on the same page. That is what my thinking is. But anyway, I want this discussion to be fruitful for everyone. Okay, it's just not for a one person, it should be for entire batch. And anyway, take out time, let's sit and let's fix the problem. Okay.
yeah, sure. Vaibhav, sorry, one last thing. So do
Mhm.
we don't have class today and tomorrow, right? Today, like for the SCCM, and tomorrow the two
Today,
sessions.
SCCM, I will, because if by the evening we'll start preparing for, Janmashtami. So I will see if I have time. I will certainly do it. Otherwise, we'll skip it maybe for the next, because SCCM console is now set up, and I'll take it on my machine, and I'll show you each and everything about the console, and then we'll start doing the Windows update, deployment, applications, troubleshooting, all those stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So let me see how the arrangement